manager for Synchrony Bank. May I have your name, please?
Yeah. So I've come across new information from the merchant, and so A, I was calling for an update, and B, I called just if there's a way that you could transfer this information to Synchrony's dispute team that I found out from the merchant. So I guess I'll start with my first question. I've been calling regularly about the dispute, and I found just getting any updates. And last time I called was several days ago. There was not necessarily any updates. The 60 days expires on the 21st. And when I was told from a previous account manager was the normality is if it expires and the merchant has not reached out to them, temporary credit is issued, and then they have 30 additional days for the merchant to reach out to Synchrony, and after which, if they don't, the case is closed. So since I don't know if you would have any new information, has the merchant reached out to Synchrony?
I can take a look and see if I have.
Okay.
I can see if I have any documents from the merchant. Just a second. But I do see your case is still open.
Yeah.
It just takes a moment to load.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Okay, there's 3 different documents on the account. The one I'm looking at right now is just your dispute rebuttal. It's just a form that you sent us with an explanation.
Yes, that was the questionnaire I received. That's the most recent one, right? With the additional one page of description, right? The questionnaire with the
says date received July 4th.
Yep.
And then there's another document here from July 3rd. I'm pulling that up now.
So there's nothing from the merchant, correct?
I don't know yet. I'll look at the 3 different documents. This looks like it is just your fax cover sheet, I think.
Yes. I sent it from Office Mac, so they usually give a cover sheet, so I'm pretty sure it's the cover sheet.
And it's a letter from us that you mailed in with the dispute. It's your dispute form.
Yes.
I don't know if there's 2 different dispute forms or if they just indexed it twice for some reason. It kind of looks like they indexed the same document 2 times here, which means they just scanned and uploaded it into our system. And then there's a 3rd document here that may be something old from June 14th. Okay, this one's kind of long, and I'm not sure if it's pertinent to your case. Maybe you sent this in. Like, I just don't know. I'm just telling you what documents I have here.
Is it from the merchant?
United States of America, Department of Transportation.
Okay, yeah, that's the memo.
The Secretary of Law.
I sent that over online to be supplementary material for my case. That's simply a mandate from the DOT. I can explain. I'll explain to you like with my next question because that's relevant to my next question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, there's nothing from the merchant, correct?
Not at this time, but once we receive the documents from a cardholder, I know that it takes up to 3 business days before they're scanned and indexed into our system. I honestly don't know when we receive documentation from the merchant, if it's the same turnaround time.
I see.
It's probably 72 business hours before I would see the merchant doc.
I see. So
uploaded into our
last time I called, and just to confirm, I talked with an account manager, and I told him about the situation, the fact that I filed on May 21st, and that we're approaching 2 months now, and unfortunately, I had to do this with numerous credit cards, so I'm sort of aware of some of their procedures of how they do it. And if you could just confirm or deny, or I don't know, revise. What I was told is once the 21st happens, assume that there's no information given to me from Synchrony by July 21st, that I need to call, ask to speak to an account manager, and they would, what was that thing? Expedite my request. So procedurally, this is what they said. Procedurally, if they do not receive anything from the merchant by that 60th day, the merchant is given 30 additional days. However, a temporary credit is issued, and then after 30 days, additional days, if the merchant doesn't respond, the case is considered closed.
That sounds accurate, except I can't guarantee that every single time a provisional credit is granted on the account. And
of course.
I believe that that's accurate with, like, I've seen people win their disputes and then within 30 days later it's reversed because the merchant sends in documentation saying it was a legit charge.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, this one is going to be very common, I guess, given the situation. So give us a brief background. These were airline tickets, and these are international airline tickets, and the merchant in question is Aeroflot. It's a Russian international airline company. They operate from like Chicago, Miami, New York, and I believe LA. So we're due to fly from LA to the country of Armenia. And obviously because of COVID, no one's flying. They stopped their flights from LA. So obviously I reached out, I got nowhere with them. Naturally, I went with a dispute, right? And I also advised the merchant of the same memo that I gave Synchrony, because they're actually the Department of Transportation, once COVID really became a national issue in the US in mid-March, the first memo was issued, I believe, in late March, in which basically the Department of Transportation said that if you're an air carrier operating in the US, you're mandated to give a refund. Simply giving them the choice of a voucher or some credit. If the customer elects a refund, you're mandated to give a refund. And then the other memo came. So the document that you saw was from the DOT. It's a memo simply to just support my claim that this carrier, despite the fact that it's a non-American carrier, the fact that it operates in the US is subject to US regulations, correct? And so this was sort of the document that you saw. Now, the additional information that I just received today. I received information today. This is going to sound funny. It's going to sound quite hilarious. Is that Aeroflot is going to issue a refund in 3 years.
Oh my goodness!
I kid you not. They legitimately said. So then I asked them a question. I was in contact with them, and I said, "Well, what do you mean 3 years?" They're like, "Well, there was a Russian law that was passed on July 6th, and people who get immediate refunds are people who are disabled, World War II veterans, and then something else." I kid you not. This is a legitimate conversation, which I recorded because I told them I was going to record because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They said you fall under the category of a normal passenger, which would receive your refund in 3 years, right? Now, I advised them. I said,
weird,
very weird. I advised them. I said, I understand this is Russian law, but I'm a U.S. citizen, and so most of your passengers who fly out of LAX are U.S. citizens, and that law doesn't apply to them. However, the DOT regulation applies to you because you're, departing the United States of America. So you are also bound by regulation, just like British Airways is or Air France, right? Again, this individual had no answer for me. So, I mean, is there a way I can pass this information along to the dispute team? Is there a way you can enter it?
I can put any notes.
Yeah, please.
I can put any notes that you list on your dispute.
If you don't mind putting the notes that a customer was informed by merchant that a domestic law was passed that would give the customer a refund in 3 years. I will happily provide you that transcript. It's hilarious to me that, 3 years. Pretty funny.
That's crazy. Yeah, if you'd like to send a copy of that transcript,
definitely,
that would be
definitely
fine.
will.
Yeah.
And then one quick question, right? I doubt Synchrony would accept that as a refund, right? They're not going to say, well, you're getting a refund, right? That will be inexcusable to wait for 3 years for a refund, correct? Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I don't work for the dispute
Okay.
nor am I an
If
attorney,
you can,
so
I see.
wouldn't have
If
the
you
ability
can,
to comment
I
on
mean,
that.
I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure that will be like, yeah, no. If you can put, does the customer wants
Right.
to know, like, does that qualify as a refund? Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll add that.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
Again,
Okay, let me get back in the dispute now.
this is something that was changed.
Cardholder, I'll just say cardholder states
Yeah.
waiting 3 years for a refund is unacceptable. Excuse me if I use my voice.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Waiting for 3 years for a refund is unacceptable.
Correct. And that 3 years is per the merchant guidelines, which I guess is Russian law or something. They basically, I mean, again, the guy had a thick accent, but I'm sure it can be picked up what he was trying to say, because I asked him numerous times the same question, trying to understand, like, where is this all coming from? And from my understanding, I guess it was like domestic law that was passed mandating their carriers to have a preference of refunds. And that I specifically said, do you mean 3 years? Like, I specifically hinted at, like, are you sure? You know, am I hearing this right?
Is there anything else you want me to add to those notes? I just said cardholder states waiting for 3 years for refund is unacceptable. Merchant states this is a Russian law. Cardholder states this should not count as a refund.
Correct. Well, this should not count as a pathway to a refund.
Pathway. Okay.
Cool. Thank you. Yep, that is it. I mean, I just wanted to inform, because I'm sure whoever looks at that case is going to get a kick out of that.
Sure. Crazy. All right. Well,
Okay.
I certainly hope it's resolved in your favor. I updated your dispute notes today.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll get some word soon. Okay.
So if I don't get forged by the 21st, what happens? Do I just call back then?
You can give us a call back, but we do communicate with you via mail with the resolution. But you're welcome to call us anytime.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Synchrony Bank.
For sure.
Your business. Have a good evening.
You too now. Bye-bye.